first job as a Java developer due to poor programming skills and experienced another setback when his second company shut down within 6 months. Undeterred, he eventually found stability in a QA role, where he climbed the ranks to become a manager. With over 7 years of experience as a QA professional and manager, Amol began offering automation testing classes, sharing his knowledge with others. Over the next 8 years, he trained numerous students and offered 3 impactful books: Practical Approach of Software Testing, Kickstart Automation Testing, with no prior programming knowledge and the investment in failures. His third book, which reflects his personal journey of learning through setbacks, was recognized with the prestigious Golden Book Award, presented by Bollywood actress Bhavya in February 2024 at the Radisson Hotel in Pune. Amol firmly believes that learning never stops. He continues to invest in his personal and professional growth, frequently training with his mentor, Sneh Desai. Through his association with Sneh Desai, Amol has had the opportunity to meet and learn with influential leaders such as Ashmir Robert Kiyosaki, Sonu Sood, and Abhishek Bachchan.
Beyond his expertise in technology, Amol has expanded his knowledge into diverse subjects, including NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, power of the subconscious mind, communication, business, angel healing, and tarot card reading. His holistic approach to learning and growth has enabled him to guide and inspire thousands of individuals on their personal and professional journeys. He has carried forward the legacies of his mentors in the spirit of contribution. He has been actively giving back to society by supporting various causes, including providing food and education for underprivileged individuals. His efforts ensure that help reaches the right people at the right time, making a meaningful impact.
Amol Ujagare's story is not just about success in technology, but also about the life lessons learned along the way. Amol believes that when it is tough time, it means you are being tested by universe, so prepare yourself for the upcoming battle. We are truly fortunate to have such a dedicated and inspiring mentor with us today. So, with a big round of applause, let's welcome our coach, the one and only Amol Ujagare.
My father's hometown is Kolgam, Sriganda Taluka. So the place where we live, I remember back in the days, it's a long back ago story. There were actually 2 kids nearby our house. One kid was almost 16 years old, and another was 6 to 7 years old. Okay, and they have very nice friendship, true friendship, and age was just age was not barrier between their friendship. So they used to jump together, play together, and one fine day, it was a summer, they went to a place. Actually there are farms outside the village, and they went to a farm, and far at a distance there was no one. And they started enjoying, they started jumping, they started playing. But suddenly, somehow what happened is that there was a well. And one of the boy couldn't see that, and the big boy, 16 years old, fell into that well. The another boy couldn't understand what to do, because as I said, far at a distance there was no one, nobody to help him. He didn't wasted a single minute. He saw a rope over there, he saw a bucket over there. He tied the rope to the bucket and thrown into the well. The other boy caught the bucket. He kept on pulling, unless and until he brought his friend out of the well. When his friend came out, they became happy. They started, hugging each other, smiling, and somewhat crying also. But later on, they realized that if this incident is, if this news get to know by our parents, then they will separate us. Okay, you might have experienced this, in your childhood or even sometimes now when you do some, some adventurous activities. Your parents says that don't play with that boy, don't play with that girl. Okay, so they also had the same concern. So what happened is that they said that we will not allow anyone to know about this. But somehow this news spread. Somebody somehow saw them doing this act, and this news spread. And they were having this fear that our parents will separate, but nothing like that happened. Instead, the discussion started happening, like how could a boy 6 years old pull out a boy who is almost double his weight? A boy who cannot even lift a bucket full of water. He actually pulled out the boy almost double his weight. How is this even possible? That time my grandfather was retired. He was actually working as a medical nurse in government hospital, and he then retired, and he was a wise person. So many people came to my grandfather and asked this same question. So we don't know how this 16 years old boy is pulled out by this 6 to 7 years boy. So my grandfather said that it's as simple as that. He tied the rope to the bucket, he threw the bucket into the well, his friend got the bucket and he pulled the bucket, and that's it. But they said, how? How is this even possible? So that day my grandfather answered one thing, and that should be. He said that it has only one answer. The question is not how, the question is why. Why he could pull out his friend out of the well, and it has only one answer. The time when he did that act, the time when he pulled out his friend out of the well, that time, far at a distance, there was nobody. Far at a distance, there was nobody to tell him, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. Now, what happens is that most of the times, since our childhood till now, we have been conditioned with different things that you cannot do this, you cannot do that. And sometimes, not only the external voice, but our own internal voice, it keeps on shouting that you cannot do this. For example, let's say you all, I guess third year students, and if somebody who is not bringing regular marks suddenly start thinking that I will bring 90%, 80%. But you internally start hearing this, what my friends will think, or can I do this? I have never done this since a long ago, and suddenly in this year, how can I do this? Right? So as long as you are convincing yourself that you cannot do this, always remember, when you say you can do this or you cannot do this, in both the cases, you are right. Okay? Fine. So, actually, the boy, when pulled out his friend, his why was clear. If I do not take out my friend out, then he anyhow I have to say his why was clear. So when you are setting any goal and you want to accomplish it, without reason it cannot happen. Means without reason, if you are sitting in a kitchen, as suppose if you are in a not in a kitchen, if you are in a bedroom and if you want water or anything, so without reason you cannot move yourself. You don't move yourself from that room to the kitchen, even, right? So without reason, you will not take any kind of action that will help you to bring more score or achieve your goals, whatever it is. I'll just show you some example. Okay. So just look at this. This is a ramp, and let's suppose this ramp is here. And I ask, hey, yes, can you just walk on this ramp? म्हणजे जर मी कोणाला म्हटलं की फक्त या रॅम्पवरती चाल, मी म्हणतो कोण पण तयार आहे? ओके, जर या रॅम्पवरतून चालला ना तुम्ही तर 5,000 रुपये मिळतील. 5,000. Raise your hand. Many people are ready to walk. Normally people, ठीक है? थोड़ा इंटरॅक्ट करा. आणि काय क्वेश्चन विचारले तर रिस्पॉन्ड करा. So, okay, how many people are ready? One more time, let's try. When you will walk on this ramp, you will get 5,000. How many people are ready? Raise your hand. Okay. Now, this ramp is on the 2-story of building. Okay? The building is 10 floor long. Okay? You have to walk on the ramp from this corner to this corner. There is no safety net, but you will get 1 lakh. Okay. So let's try another situation. So here you have to walk on the ramp from one corner to another corner, but the another building had caught fire. You will get 10 lakh. But let's suppose same situation is there. You have to walk from one building to another building. Another building had caught the fire. You are not going to get any money, but your family is trapped into it. And you have only one chance to save them, to walk on the ramp. Right? Situation changes, why changes, and your action changes. Okay? So if you decide your why, if you discover your why, it will drive you to take actions. Okay? So I'm going to give you some examples which will help you to set or start your why. But before that, I just have one question to you. What is the difference between dream and goal? Yes. एक असतं ड्रीम आणि एक असतं गोल. काय डिफरन्स? So, Gayatri, तुमचा येणाऱ्या फ्युचरमध्ये सिटी सोडून दुसऱ्या सिटीला जायचा प्लॅन आहे का? होमटाउन पुणेच आहे का? ओके. दुसरं कोणी आहे का की ज्यांना या सिटीतून दुसऱ्या सिटीमध्ये जायचा प्लॅन आहे फ्युचरमध्ये? मे बी तुमच्या होमटाउनला. येस. खाली जायचं आफ्टर डिग्री. ओके, कशासाठी जायचं? जॉब आहे. Yes. Okay. आता यशने सांगितलं की he want to go to Bangalore. Okay. Right now he is in Pune and he want to go to Bangalore. And his purpose is defined. Okay. for job and training purpose he wants to go to the Bangalore and in 2027 release. This is one example. Another example, let's say one person wants to travel from one city to another city. Let's say I am in Pune and I want to travel to let's say Mumbai, right? So why to travel? That's what my session is there. And how I'm going to travel? Maybe by car. Okay, how much distance it is? So let's say 3 to 200 kilometers or 3 to 4 hours I will take to travel. Now here you see, when you know start point and end point, okay, when you know where you are right now and where to reach, you have the travel plan and you have a solid result to go there. So there is no doubt you will reach to that destination. Similarly, if you have any goal, if you have a travel plan, and if you have a strong reason to achieve that goal, nothing can stop you. Okay, so I'll just give you some examples of the why that will help you to design your own why. Okay, so first one is mental experience as a motivation. It could be insult or rejection. Somebody insulted me, so I will prove them wrong. Maybe failure in exam or career. Okay, I was rejected once for a job because I was lacking in the skill, but now I will prepare myself and achieve the results. Okay, another example, personal struggle as a fear, maybe a health issue. I suffered due to my unhealthy lifestyle. Now I will transform my body and live strong. Financial hardship. I struggle to afford basic needs, but I will prepare myself so that my family will never face again. Then observing others' success or failure. Okay, seeing friends' success. If he can do it, why cannot I? Or watching parents. My parents sacrificed everything. Now I will give them a better life. And the last one is quite close to me, losing someone very close. Friends, life is very short. Long back ago, when I started my career, I had a dream to buy a car. By attending such sessions, I understood that you prepare your goal, you create an image, keep it in front of you. So I just created one image and kept it in front of me. And this was the image I created. And this image was taken on 19th July 2008. But honestly speaking, I don't know much about the cars. When I booked the car was Tata Tigor. And many of my friends and even my family members started criticizing me, why you booked this car, you could have taken better in the same budget. But I was just happy because in my life I booked a car and there was one person who never judged me and who was just happy because I was buying a car and she was my grandmother. This is the picture taken on 7 July 2022. Yes, that car was there with me. But 2 months ago, my grandmother was no more. She died 30th April 2022. So whatever your goals are, the reason there is a strong reason to complete it, finish it as early as possible because your loved one, we never know how much time is there with them. If you really want to make them feel proud, finish your goal as early as possible. Okay? Now the last one is desire for revenge, but in a positive way. They laughed at me once. Now I will make sure my success is my answer. I was rejected not for being good. Now I will become so good that they cannot ignore me. Okay? Now, you know what? while setting your goal, if you consider these 5 things, your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. SMART. It said that your goal should be a SMART goal. What is SMART? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Specific means clear. You know, I take automation testing classes actually. My students are professionals and they actually set a goal like, I want to buy a car. And, when I say that, which car? Or they say that I want to buy a vehicle. So, which vehicle? Do you want to buy a truck, 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler? Okay. So, let's say 4-wheeler, but which company, what color, how much mileage you want? Another example, let's say I want to buy a big house. So, means how many square feet? Or let's say, if you don't understand square feet, then 1 BHK, 2 BHK. Be specific about it. Then second thing is that measurable. Okay. When you are deciding that, let's suppose I want to reduce a weight. How much it is? Let's say 10. 10 gram is also reduction. Okay. So, is it 10 kg, 20 kg? Or let's suppose you want to bring good marks in your studies. So, in a plan, how much you are studying, when it is going to complete, is there should be a measure. Always remember that the things can be measured or the things can be achieved. Okay. The next is achievable. Set some realistic goals. Based on your strength and weaknesses, you have to set your goals. Because, I always say that let's suppose a person, his skills and abilities are as such that he could earn 1 lakh rupees, and suddenly he starts saying that from tomorrow I will start earning 10 crores per month. Then I'm not saying that it is not achievable, but it requires a different level of preparation. Okay? So based on what your skills are there, what your achievable outcomes are there, so based on that, you have to set goals. And then it should be relevant. Okay? So now I guess you all are taking technical education, like after this education you will go to IT company or something like that, right? So if you are planning with this education, your skills are related to, let's say, IT, and suddenly if you start thinking about some other field, I'm not saying that you are not going to achieve it. It requires different level of preparation, but the goal that you are setting, if it is relevant to what your skill sets, then it is likely to be achievable, right? I'm not saying that you are doing IT education and then your goal is to go into some other field. So if you prepare for that and if you bring your skill set to that, so yes, that is also achievable. And the last one is very important, time bound. Okay. So when you say that I will complete this syllabus, okay, anyhow I have to finish this, then set a deadline. Okay. Because what happens is that when I ask somebody that how long it will take for you to complete this syllabus or to study this syllabus, so let's say he said, sir, 2 months. Okay, in 1 month, when I ask how much time you will take, he says again, sir, 2 months. In 1 month again, say 2 months. So that 2 months never dies. So never set your goal like in 1 month or 2 months. Okay, set a date. And the interesting trick to set that date is set the date which is memorable. Set the date which is emotional. It could be your birthday, your parents' birthday, any particular occasion. So the date which is memorable, if you set that, then it is likely to be achievable. Okay? So this was about the goal setting. And now, how many people think that, this, everything is okay, but, it is a little difficult for us to stay always motivated. How many people feel the same? Right? So, now I'm going to give you 3 different ways, okay, that will help you to stay always motivated. Okay? So first of all, it is physiology. Okay? Physiology. Right? See, have you seen any depressed person? How is his physiology? So, maybe the shoulders down, neck down, and hardly, also doing a shallow breathing, right? No confidence, and hardly he or she smiles. And on the contrary, how is the physiology of a person who is confident? Okay, having a positive mindset. Shoulders up, neck up, smile on the face. You know what? Back in the days, when there were cricket matches, when somebody used to, hit a sixer or hold a catch, then all the players used to, go like this. Oh, well done, well shot. Later on, their mentors, they learned that, if you change your physiology, then it actually multiplies your energy. So, since then, they decided when anyone will hit a sixer or anyone will, take a catch, so let's bring all the teams together and, jump and shout. And nowadays, when you watch the matches, when any single person hit a shot or take a catch, so the all team gathers together and, they celebrate just like this.